guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the free-to-play account on the test server, and we're looking at the brand new artifact. So we know the Ranger artifacts are very strong. The Rangers, especially when it comes to a lot of content in AFK Arena, are the strongest class. They are built out in the Elder Tree first because they do a considerable amount of damage. They have some haste out of the Elder Tree, and they also are pretty good with survivability because of the dodge factor. Now, looking at the artifacts that we use, first one is, of course, Dura's Eye, crit physical resistance. Any hero that's going to the enemy side, crit does help quite a bit with the damage, but physical resistance will increase the survivability. But ultimately, the big thing with this artifact is the haste and the critical strikes deal 30% more damage, which is the reason why players build these one out. So the second one that we're going to look at is the Shroud. Now, this is kind of a defensive artifact, so while it does have crit, it gives you a shield for the beginning of the battle that lasts for 8 seconds. You do more damage while you're wearing the shield, and ultimately in the 5-pole, in a lot of different formations, this increases the survivability to the heroes to the point of what they don't instantly die, especially when you have, again, the heroes going to the enemy side of the battlefield. Now, whether it's Titus, whether it's Joker, whether it's, all of these heroes that go to the enemy side of the battlefield initially will be bursted down very quickly with magical attack because they cannot dodge. This gives them a little bit of survivability and a little bit of leeway with it. Next one, of course, is the Verdant Longbow. This one is just straight damage, guys. Increased accuracy, increased attack, dealing damage every 3 normal attacks. So it's going to trigger this over and over and over again, allowing you to maximize damage. Some of the ranged heroes utilizing this, I've seen it on Lucretia, I've seen it on Kren, I've seen it in a couple of heroes in the backline that you want to do more damage, where haste isn't a factor, where they're more dependent on damage than they are when it comes to the haste. Now, the new one is the Dual Divinity. So interesting enough, it gives crit and it gives crit damage amplification. So as you crit, the crit damage amplification is going to allow the crits to essentially do more damage with the damage multiplier on here, depending on where you're at. But look at the ability, and I'm a little confused when it comes to this ability. I don't see, much of the functionality or the reason behind it. So after 35 seconds of battle, every time the wielder deals damage to enemies well on the enemy side of the battlefield. All right, so let's break down that beginning part. So after 35 seconds of battle, that is right, guys, the artifact power is not going to trigger until after 35 seconds of battle. Meaning, remember, battles are only 90 seconds, so you're already considerably in the battle at 35 seconds. Most of the time with battles, either Irons has killed everybody, which again, this artifact wouldn't have really much of a purpose. But some of the battles that do last longer, it could come into play. But what exactly does it do? Their attack rating is increased by 3% and the damage they receive is reduced by 3%. So now we have a buff there with the attack rating, and we have a damage reduction, which helps the survivability, which again, this triggers after 35 seconds of battle. So it does take a while for this to have any effect. And of course, the other one that I do not like about this at all is dealing damage well on the enemy side of the battlefield. That is right, guys. Every time the wielder, so the one that equips this artifact, deals damage to the enemies on the enemy side of the battlefield. So now your heroes have to be on the enemy side of the battlefield. If we have the 5-pole, this is not going to do anything for it, because remember, all of the enemies are going to be on the allied side, not the enemy side of the battlefield. So this is going to be particular to just a few heroes, which means it's going to be super niche when it comes to the utility of it, I guess. I was really hoping for something more than this, and it's a little bit different how they created this. So there we go. So we know the attack rating is going to go up 5% on level 3, and the damage they receive is reduced by 5%. So pretty good survivability when they're going on the enemy side of the battlefield, which is required to go ahead and trigger this artifact. But the end of it says effects can be stacked 10 times. So that's a pretty significant stacking ability there, and will remain until 36 seconds into battle. So I believe this is very lost in translation. And again, I'm probably reading this completely wrong, which I do sometimes with the artifacts. So after 35 seconds of battle, it is going to trigger. The effect stacks 10 times and will remain until 36 seconds into battle. Which I'm not sure if that's 36 minutes remaining in the battle or if that's 1 second after the 35 seconds we waited for this to trigger. Again, I think the timing's off. I'm not exactly sure how effective this is going to be, but it seems kind of broken with the way they designed it. So if you have that 1 second time to stack these, which I'm sure is not the case, I don't know again if it remains until there's 36 seconds left in battle. So in a 90-second window, you have a pretty short time between triggering after 35 seconds and waiting till you have 36 seconds left. That's a pretty small window to be on the enemy side of the battlefield, which ultimately is going to give you attack rating boost and also the damage reduction. So again, there's survivability in there. So let's take a look at our heroes, guys. So what heroes would use this? And I'm just really thinking theoretically. So all of our heroes, there we go. So we have our rangers. So running down the list, just kind of looking at it again from a ranged damage aspect, I guess. So when you look, it might be even easier just to break it down. So Pharrell, of course, not going to use it. He's not going enemy side. Ezio could possibly be a good candidate for this. Iran is a no. Leica is a no. Cecilia, absolutely. She starts, and just like Athalia, she goes straight to the enemy side. Lucretia, either or. I know the longbow does really well with her. So it could be a possibility to using that as well. Verk is going to be a no. Raku is going to be a no. Drez, he's another hero. Excuse me. Drez is another hero that probably is going to be on the enemy side, which I'm thinking possibly. Theowen is another hero. It's going to be really questionable on what side they are. Kaz and Thane, absolutely. When it comes to Falks, no. Again, Gwen is going to be a no. Respin is going to be a no. Titus and Oscar, possibly. Kelthar absolutely is going to be on that side. Of course, Athalia is going to be on that side. But remember, she always does a kick that kind of pushes the heroes back towards the allied side. So we're not exactly sure where that's going to be effective. So looking in here, guys, I mean, we've got what, 1, 2, possibly 3, 4, 5. I mean, 6, 7, maybe 7, 8 of our heroes in there that could effectively use this artifact. Again, I don't know what or exactly how it's going to work. I'm still a little bit confused looking at the artifact itself and what exactly it is going to do. I know it brings the attack rating boost, it brings the damage reduction, but you have to be on the enemy side of the battlefield. We just have to figure out exactly what this duration means. So if you do know what it means, definitely let me know down in the comments, because again, I'm a little confused with this one. It seems like a very unusual artifact, but we're going to have to see, because I believe that is almost the last artifact. So we have 3 here for support, 3 for the mages, we have 3 here for the rangers, 3 for the tanks, and we do have 3 for our warrior class. So that might be it, guys. I'm not sure if there's going to be a 4th round of the class specific artifacts, but let me know in the comments what you guys think of the brand new artifact. And as always, thank you guys for watching.